the mics will be on.
So people on Facebook can now watch us. I could mute it, but we are also live on channel 191.
Yes, ma'am.
We're live. Thanks for
On
the heads
Facebook.
up.
Oh, not yet, maybe we are, yes, we're live.
Hey Myra, can you hear me? This is Carl.
Yeah, it took us a second to get connected. Can you hear us?
I can hear you guys really well.
Wonderful. We are live, just so you know. No curse words.
There's no fun in that.
Or if you curse, you can't blame me for not telling you what's live. You can curse all you want.
Thank you for the heads up, I'll try to be more than polite.
So we do have Carl on, we don't have the other gentleman.
Yeah, Tom, he's.
Oh, he just got here, okay. I just wanted to make sure if, obviously, we're not starting exactly any time, whenever council comes back and starts.
Sure. All right. Well, and Daniel said that they could be a little bit late, so.
And Tom, are you ever gonna show your video, or Carl?
You know, I had my video working, I really did. Let me try.
Okay, well, we would just love to see your face, Tom, and I have it so council could see you too, so,
I'm happy to show my face.
awesome. And you can tell.
Hey.
Hey, there we go. And I'll push the video around so you can see who's actually in the room.
How are you feeling, my baby?
Is that Rod in the?
Yeah, we are waiting for council to get out of executive session, so.
Right.
I should have dressed up more, but, you know, in come from work, I did what I got, and I was already ready to pull my shirt down.
We did it. I'm not above ending these in a hoodie after a long day.
Okay.
I'm sure it'll be fun. That, water video, Danielle, was just as fun as promised.
Did you like it?
Yeah, that was awesome.
I'm hoping we get the landfill one done. It's been a little bit more challenging.
Oh, yeah.
I found the audio backing though, I
Even
bought
if
it for
we-
€3.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Even if we don't get it this week, we'll get it posted, but I'm hoping we can get it done by Thursday. Cause they did really good on that too.
That's awesome.
Do you guys want one of these?
Yes.
You want one?
If you made enough.
I gave,
I'm sure Callie knows.
I didn't
But you know,
feel that.
I always kind of feel like a dog, like after a bone, when someone walks around with a staff
You're like,
like that.
give me
Oh,
that.
Thank you.
I
thanks for
always
doing
make
that,
sure I include
Danielle.
you.
I know, you're the best.
You are gonna sit there.
She is the best, isn't she?
Danielle, I'll upload it tomorrow, okay?
Yeah, sorry I didn't have.
Oh,
it
actually,
on
I'll go
there.
upload it now, because if we have remote viewers. I mean, if council comes out randomly, I will stop recording.
Good job, thank you.
Yes, of course, he sent me more, but I'm like, I don't know if we should do all this and it be overwhelming.
Exactly, just a highlight would be
So,
great.
that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, you're a true treasure for the city,
Yeah.
I hope they appreciate that.
Okay.
Yeah. Work hard, dedicated, loyal, hard to find these days.
You don't know anybody that wants to be a public works director, do you? Community development is my title. I'm doing both right now.
Let me think about that, 'cause I might know a couple people.
Oh, really?
I would be.
Serious, let me know that around my
Okay.
rephrase.
They would.
Danielle would be so happy
Yeah, I
to
would
drop
be.
that interim responsibility list.
Cause I'm doing both departments right now, so we would work together, whoever gets it.
Just doing that, I think we're in but it wasn't actually the message.
The street, water, sewer.
Give me a range, give me a range.
train everybody.
Oh.
I know, Stories have sounded really good so far.
Good, I'm glad you guys like them.
Got a ton of positive feedback on one yesterday.
Oh, nice.
I haven't heard as much today, but I think
I
just
don't, what
because
was, yes,
yesterday was
utility.
like.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I got
yeah.
your message.
You just
Okay.
got lost in
Oh, no worries.
Right,
I'm kidding. All right.
but I think yesterday was kind of like the first employee
Good.
one.
Right,
Done
right.
more,
Yeah.
but,
I just finished all of the rest of them, for the rest of this week, yeah, before I came here. And I'm looking forward to it. This has been such a fun series to do. I've really enjoyed it.
I have, I'm gonna have to listen to one for two, because I'm in there.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that one.
Sorry.
Some Thursday, right, yeah. I delved into a whole, like, history of the closure, and I, like, had to go back and, like, look at audio files from, it doesn't believe that I was, like, that this was that long ago. Like, I was so new. Years ago.
And I used to give Leroy such a hard time, when I started, I think it was 2 years ago.
Again, sorry about this
And
weekend.
now you're not there.
Sorry about this weekend.
I get it,
Hey,
yeah.
at least you knew I was working. You talked to my boss.
Yes, I did. I read into that.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Oh, you know, working.
I had wings in my ladder. Yeah?
How are you, Ron?
Good, how are you, Terry?
Good. You know.
How are you?
How are you? Oh, goodness.
This is the first time I've seen
Yeah.
a reader today.
Group around.
Oh, sorry, so I think I'm gonna inhale.
When you step in it, yeah.
Fall asleep in the middle of it.
I was dumping the water out of the building, out of the, where it leaks out of the roof, and I was up on the top of that.
Still logged in.
Yeah.
No,
What you doing?
I guess not. Good thing that I finished. I didn't get along with the other.
Good, papers.
Homework. It's not homework, I promise.
Call it
Training hours at 12.
Don't forget to push your name.
I'm finally getting a chance to eat.
Yeah.
At lunch. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Actually got lunch.
Oh, you did get lunch?
Thank you.
I
welcome. Good, how are you?
on salad.
How are you?
My back. Good, how are you?
Paper on your computer, Jackie.
Thank you. I was leaving an event and they wanted me to take, why are we?
All right, I'll call this meeting back to order. Councilman Smith?
Yes, I move that we come out of executive session at 5:37 PM.
Second. There's a motion made and seconded to come out of executive session at, what'd you say, 5:37? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. So we'll adjourn that, special meeting and then call to order a work session. Catching up here, sorry. Takes forever to load. No internet.
Well, and you guys, I think everything that's for the work session you have is on paper, so I don't know if you need your computers necessarily for the work session. Correct.
Okay, I will call this work session to order and, I just turn the floor over to you, Danielle.
Yeah, so I don't wanna take too long, I would actually like to hand the floor over to, we have Rod Taylor here. And then on, via Zoom, we have Tom Henroy, he is with Rockworth Companies, he's part of the developer. And then Carl is on Zoom as well, in case there's some questions that maybe I can't answer. I did, with the help of Carl and Tom and Rod, prepare just a little packet for you guys. There's some, and Jason, I don't wanna miss him too, he helped a lot with this. but just some information for you guys on the cover sheet, a new updated layout of the pond showing the apartments in relation to the fishing pond, and then just some pictures and some different layouts of what that development will look like. But I will turn the floor over to, Rod and Tom, and, to you guys. I know that they are here to answer questions you guys have and just kind of talk about this project as a whole, and we'll go from there.
Okay, thank you.
Ron, you want to go first?
Sure.
I don't know if you all can hear me very well. I can mostly hear you guys, but it's sounds like in a bit of a fishbowl.
That happens sometimes, sorry.
That's okay. Well, anyway, my name's Tom Henroyd from Rockworth Companies. We're located in Salt Lake City. We're a Wasatch Front development, property management, and brokerage firm. Our history spans 20 years. My partners and I, we've been at this for quite some time. We have developed over the course of that time frame about 15,000 apartment units, not communities. 15,000 apartment units, a few million square feet of commercial space. That's professional office, medical office, retail, and industrial. Over the course of that time frame, we got to know Rod Taylor and Peter Johnson from Sinclair, and got to know what their needs were in your community. Like I'm sure many of you, we created a relationship with Rod and Peter. We built a plan with them to try to create some housing options that are different than what they currently have. They've got a lot of professional folks that work in your town, and they wanted to have a better housing option. They spend quite a bit of money housing folks for near and medium terms, and want to give them a Class A living condition for while they're working in your community. So we have been working for the last couple of years actually on creating an apartment community that would be a Class A, fully amenitized. And when I say fully amenitized, it's a clubhouse, lounge. You've got a pool, hot tub, other amenities that surround the community, playgrounds, things like that. And we can walk through. Danielle has the renderings. I'm sure most of you folks maybe haven't even seen them. I mean, we went down the road with some of your folks. Certainly Carl has had a big hand in this from a review and giving us information on the town's perspective. But other folks in town have as well. We got actually all the way to the point of having a building permit set of plans that were reviewed. And then COVID-19 really kind of put the brakes on everything. And this was really early in 2020 when we hit this like everyone else. And we called timeout on everything. And Mr. Johnson at Sinclair, everyone had to kind of hunker down and see what things were looking like. In the early parts of this year, we started communications again to see how things were going. And we've decided together that we want to make another run at it and see if, hopefully, we don't have to have a strong wind in our sails behind us, but it'd be nice not to have a headwind like COVID or something like that. So if we can have some normal economic conditions, which we're not necessarily there yet, but we're closing in on it. If we can get there, then we've got, I think, good reason to do this. And we're excited about the prospect of it and excited about bringing a community that's got amenities like this to your town. Certainly thrilled to be working with folks like Rod and Sinclair. Carl has been fantastic. So we'd love to talk to you about any details, answer questions that you have. I guess I'll let Carl or Rod, if you guys have anything else to say, love to hear from you guys.
Sorry, we just had a computer go wacky over here.
So I think that's a pretty good summary, Tom. Of course, Danielle's the treasurer too, you guys know that. So I come from two aspects. I happen to own the ground. And, I was a long-time employee with Sinclair. I've got 31 years in now. Not quite as many as DeMari when he retired, but I'm getting close. I know that Sinclair is really wanting to get this done and fully wants to backstop what Rockworth is doing. But we don't wanna be in the business of being a landlord, so we want them to not only build it, but to manage it for us and those kind of things. Sinclair believes that Rollins is the right place and a good town. We fully support the community, and we have difficulty bringing in professionals sometimes. And so we're trying to offer them a little upgrade place to live and those kind of things. So we're trying to take, from my aspect, we're on Taylor's side, and I'm not speaking for Sinclair right now, but it'd be nice to turn that piece of dirt into something beautiful and green space. So when you come into town and all our visitors that we have, because I'm a proud Rollins resident, and it would be really nice to see something beautiful down there rather than the, the swamp we look at when we go by every day. So, put a lot of work into this. I've got about 4.5 years into it. We've looked at several developers. We landed with Rockworth. They were the ones that seemed to be very solid. And when he said they were doing lots of apartments, when we met them, they were working on 3,000 that day. So they have lots of practice and lots of experience doing this and building them. And I think if you look at the renderings, they're talking about providing, and as is Sinclair, an A-level type property. I've been in many meetings with Peter Johnson, and he demands that not only we build it, but we sustain it. And that would be part of our agreement with Rockworth, that they would keep it as an A-level. So the grass mowed and the walkways and the dog parks and whatever we have down there is gonna be kept up for a long time to come. So I don't want the council to think that we're trying to do something that, you know, it's just gonna be another different kind of eyesore, right? So, as you look at the renderings there, if you have any questions, happy to answer them. I think maybe, I guess I'm just waiting for questions, as is Tom.
Yeah, maybe Danielle, if you have that slideshow, if you wanted to share your screen and we could walk through it, I'd be happy to speak to the slides.
Yeah,
You'd have to do it, Tom, she just did it on paper.
Oh, so can you guys see a screen if I do that?
I think so.
I guess that would answer my question that Rod asked to just what do you expect from the city, what partnerships you're asking us to have with you, and that kind of stuff, I think will go a long way to clearing, what we need to do and what you folks are doing. And I've been looking at this project for a long time myself. I've been kind of, here and there. I support it because I think it does go a long way to, taking a drainage area and fixing it into something productive and good in our community. The question we have, I think, just boils down to what does the city need to come to the table with, what's the relationship and that kind of thing, so.
Well, Daniel put kind of a one-pager of, you know, kind of the city's part and the developers and Sinclair side for everybody to kind of look at. I think it's more the developer trying to help the city, and then the city helping support, you know, what we're doing down there. I think we plan to dig the pond and spend the money doing that. In return for some fill dirt from that side and cleaning that up and moving it over to the other side. I think the idea is to put water from the pond down to our detention pond and pump it back for aeration and that kind of thing. The fishing game back in the day, I talked about putting fish in both ponds, sunfish and some gill, or I don't know what they were gonna put in a little pond. But that way the water pumps around, and then when the water's high, obviously it go down and out like it does now. And when it's short, I think Carl has a plan for how to backfill the pond and whatnot. But, I think we just are looking for the city's support more than we're looking for dollars and cents. I mean, everything boils down to that, right? We're hoping that the it's kind of hit us all in the pocket. But I think Sinclair really wants to be a company, that is all about the community. And I think this is a good way to do that. And it's fishing pond, from my aspect, being in Rollins would be a great thing, having folks come down and be able to fish. And I think they're just trying to beautify that entire area for the town, for the city. But I think the demand on the city, should be fairly small. And I think the monthly, yearly kind of stuff, which I would worry about if I was sitting in your guys' chairs, I think it's pretty light. And, Rockworth and Sinclair are signed up to do a lot of really good things and some very expensive things. So we're looking for an advantage. I think we're just looking for a win-win partnership, maybe a win-win-win, if you will. Because I know the state would love to get this, municipal fishing pond in. And I think that'd just be a great thing for everybody.
You know, Rod, I think they're building these, that I wanna know what's the cost of maintaining all that after it's complete? I wanna know, I know there's a bunch of numbers down there, but those aren't accurate numbers, I don't think. I think they need to go, I wanna know exactly, because we have 3 parks in our community that I'm telling you are hurting. They're hurting, and we don't have the employees to take care of those. And we're gonna need employees to take care of that, project. It depends on what we're gonna do down there. Are we gonna put restrooms and walkways and all kinds of goodies in there? It's gonna take, monitoring those ponds for the fish to survive. The water's gotta move, it can't just be stagnant.
That's why we're pumping it.
Who's gonna be doing all that kind of work? Those are the kind of things that my constituency are asking me, who's gonna take care of it? I had a plan, mine was a cheesy plan, mine was go down there, build a retention pond, which the city of Rollins needs. Clean up the area, make it green, and there you are. It wasn't to make it a national park, and so I'm gonna listen to the rest of the council, and if I'm persuaded, I can easily change, but that's where I'm at. And that's where the people that I'm talking to are. I don't know about the rest of the council, they speak for themselves.
Jabari, if I may, Jason actually helped us with this in the maintenance because he is over Parks and Recreation, and he put a lot of time and work into these numbers. So I do actually feel that this is accurate, good information for maintenance for you guys to actually review and look at, because I do know in our previous discussions that was something that was brought up. So, again, huge thank you to Jason, who put a lot of work into preparing that for you guys.
I'd like to commend Sinclair for trying, being involved in the community, and they do a lot for Rollins in a whole, first and foremost. But you had talked about, doing an aeration by connecting to the storm drain pond to the development pond.
Correct.
So my
It'll be
question.
a pipe, so if that pond fills, it'll go to the bottom pond.
Which would be the developed pond, the developer's pond, right?
Correct, which is our responsibility.
So what's the plan, I guess you said Carl had a plan to come up with a plan in case the stormwater pond filled up, or didn't fill up?
You want me to jump in here and just fill you in on a couple of those details?
Yeah, please.
Can you guys hear me all right?
Yes, Thomas, if you stop screen sharing for a minute, we'll be able to see Carl.
Okay.
Oh,
Thank you.
I don't know if that's really what you want, but anyway, your question was in a few parts. So I'll start with the way the 2 ponds function together. The developer's pond is kind of an overflow pond. I've been monitoring the flows into those ponds for quite a few years now, through dry years and low years. It comes in 2 storm outlets that are the outfall from pretty much most of town, by the way. And There's some groundwater that comes in there, and the majority of it is just people watering their lawns. It kind of comes from irrigation water, and that's based on some chemistry profiles we did on the water. So that's how those ponds stay full. They fill up in the spring from the storm runoff, and they kind of maintain their level. So I expect when those ponds are full, there'll be continuous flow through, and it'll be fairly cold, aerated water. And then we have a plan in place to take water from the developer's pond and pump it up and just splash it down over some rocks to aerate it and keep the water moving. And the pump doesn't have any head on it. It won't use electricity, say as if we were trying to pump out of a well or something like that. So I think that kind of addresses how the pond will get full and how it'll stay full. And honestly, if we have such a dry year that pond level can't be maintained, we'll also have a dry year up in the Sage Creek Springs, and we honestly won't want to put water in it, and we'll have to let the level go down. And based on historical data, that might have happened in 2012, and it might have happened in, I think about 97 or 98, based on historical data. But one of the 6 penny tax projects is to put river water on the cemetery, which would free up more than 1 million gallons a day in the summertime for almost 6 months. So putting river water on the cemetery would free up 1 million gallons a day of treated water. And also when we put water on the cemetery, it would be kind of a non-issue in a super dry year when we'd be drawing on the city's water right. So we would be totally at our right to use that river water, guys, to get it up to the cemetery. And then we could flow it down to the pond and put water in the pond that way. And I will tell you right up front that is in the future. It's not something we can do right now. So that's how we would sort of keep and maintain the levels in the pond. And then I think I heard a comment about sort of how the pond would function in our stormwater system. At some point, we need this pond, whether we use it for a fishing pond or not. And I think it was DeBari who commented to that. So yes, I want to reinforce that comment, and that we do need sort of detention, retention citywide, and that pond is the natural place and ideal place to do it. Are there any questions?
So would there be plans to meter that water if that was the case, coming off of a spur out of that line going to the cemetery?
The river water, we have to meter it, and we do it through some mag meters that are on the pumps at the golf course, if you're familiar with those. And we have to meter that water because we got to report it to the state. We don't pay anything. We do pay like the lift cost on that water to get it from the river to the golf course, and then there'll be some additional lift cost to get it up to the cemetery. And we would meter it just like any other water we take from the river. And I don't know if my scheme to just flow it down the storm drains, I don't think we could meter it at that point. But if that's something that you'd like to see, you know, I hadn't worked that out. I'm sorry.
I'm just trying to figure out, would be supplying water for both ponds if that was the case?
So yes, according to historical data, in the last 20 years, there would have been 2 years, no, in the last 30 years, there would have been 2 years where we would have had to sort of put water into that system to keep that pond up. And it's an absolute guess, by the way. You know, I had to kind of ferret out that data. And I don't know if you guys remember 2012, 2013, the river went under regulation. So you got to keep that in mind. If that pond is low, it's not just that pond that's low. In historical data, when the springs don't produce, we don't have the snowfall, and the river goes under regulation, there's this weird inverse thing that happens. People actually water their grass more. Picture it's a drier season, it gets warmer earlier, and we haven't had much snow over the winter. So people actually demand more water. So that's what happens in a dry year. Irrigation demand goes up. So what would happen in this case, and like they said, those 2 and 30 years, you know, from what I can tell, we would have to add water to the system. And if we have access to the river, if we've built the river system to put water on the cemetery, then it would be a non-issue to take water and flow it down to the pond. But ferrying it out exactly how much that is, I don't think we have the data or the ability. There's too much uncertainty there.
I'm just asking the question. Both ponds are connected. We will be filling the developer's pond with the city water.
No, the developer's pond will be designed if they like. You know, typically detention ponds are dry. And I picture this one, and I would have to work with their civil engineer on it, as being kind of two-staged. We'd have maybe a low end that does keep water in it, just so we can kind of flow water back and forth. But no, we wouldn't have to fill the developer's pond. I mean, if we were, well, we would want a little water in it because we want to circulate it for the aeration.
All right, thank you.
Carl,
Yes.
a couple of questions. The EPA rule, I think, is what is governing the fact that we're 9,400 and some people, or 9,600, depends on the new census. So we get 400 to 600 new people in town, we're gonna have to do that retention pond anyway. And when I saw the figures on that, it's close to $800,000 to $900,000 if we check it out ourselves. So my question to you is that, I know that there's a grant that the, I think it's Conservation or Fish and Wildlife or someone has already come to the table with that. But what we're really proposing to do is, trade our dirt, which will save us $560,000 by working with a developer. And our project's somewhere around $200-some thousand versus the $900,000, but isn't, we're gonna have to end up doing that anyway if we grow. Then the other question I had for you is about access to roads, for the pond. Now, I'm sorry, I don't remember what we were doing for the roads to the, pond. Can you tell me?
In the plan, it's just, crushed base.
Just base, but it's access off Flat Street.
There was actually access to the pond off of, Harshman in the Spruce Street right of way, and then it ended at a little parking. And I believe, Carl did an updated drawing for you guys. It does show that, and then there was also one coming on the east side, so that you could park on either side of the pond was the intention.
And these would be public easements, so there'd be no issues with us, private parties just driving on the city streets like they normally do, right?
Correct, it is a public right of way,
That's what I thought.
yes,
Thank you for clarification.
yes.
I'm kind of with the Bari. I think it's a great project. We do need the apartments, there's no question about it. We're gonna be faced with a catch pond sooner or later. But we're building another park, and we're not really maintaining our parks we have, so that's my only, real nervous part. In this project, is there things the city can do later? Like, do we have to build these roads right now? Do we have to build the access? Can they walk in? I noticed we have restrooms, we have, you know, the full Monty here, and it'd be wonderful, but I don't know if we can eat that elephant in one bite.
So I personally think, and I guess Sean definitely corrects me if I'm wrong, but I think that this falls in your court. I mean, as the council, I think you guys can say, we wanna do the roads, we don't. We wanna only do one side right now, or we don't want bathrooms. I think really, you guys have an opportunity as council members to kind of mold what this looks like and to what level we build out this pond. I mean, we can do, and I said it this morning, we can have a Buick or we can have a Cadillac. What do you guys want?
A Buick, they're more expensive than a Cadillac, because they don't make it anymore.
Yeah, but they used to be super cheap.
But my point is, I don't wanna limit it to the point where it's a mud hole with, you know, a mud hole. I don't wanna see that either. I don't wanna inhibit the ability for the contractors to come in and build a nice facility and have I don't wanna be a horrible neighbor to that. But I also would like to look at it as a phased situation where we don't have to spend all that money at one time.
I have just a few questions. What timeline are you guys looking at?
Well, I think we'll probably start digging 90 days, 100 days, something like that. And then Tom, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was like a 14-month period to get them built.
That's about right.
And I think just so you guys, most of the walkways, most of the green area is on our side. We're managing that, manicuring that, all that kind of stuff. The pond is a perk, obviously, to the city. It's a perk to the apartments. Like she said, whatever you guys do, you do, but we're just gonna make our access out there or not. We plan on going to Cedar Street. That's our main in and out. But as you look through the drawings, or eventually the whole overall plan, one piece was going out on Coons and one piece was going on what would be Spruce Street if it came in. But, what you guys do, I guess, could be over a multitude of years, but most of the green area, or all of the green area, I guess in this case, would be on our side, so.
And then my other question, Rod, was, are the renters gonna be specific to Sinclair?
No.
Okay.
No, so there's 5 buildings. One of them is a corporate building. It'll be used like, if you will, as a hotel. So when our folks are here, whether it's John Anderson and he's here for 6 months, he has his own apartment, and we're cleaning it 3 or 4 times a week, that kind of thing. And that will be solely Sinclair. The rest of the apartments will be for anyone and everyone, you know, equal opportunity, that kind of thing. But the one building will be rented solely by Sinclair from Rimrock, Rockwood, to, house Sinclair employees. But it'll be used more like a hotel than an apartment building.
I think this falls, in line with a lot of the strategic planning, you know, too, of the beautification, cause I mean, I'm not trying to put down that area, but it's an eyesore when you drive by, right? And you guys are.
I own it and I think it's a nice.
So you guys are doing well in beautifying it, and I think, to do justice, I think, it'd be great for the city to kind of go along with that too. I know it's enough cost to do it, but I think the benefit off of it, it might be worth looking into that for sure.
I agree. I just wanna limit what our obligation should be. Councilman Durst?
So, a couple questions. I see down here in the estimated maintenance costs, floating dock for 500, replace the plastic floats, restroom maintenance for 45, trail maintenance, but I don't see anything about installation. So, I don't see anything about what it costs to put in the bathroom, to put in the trail. So to me, that's gonna be a very large cost on top of the pond liner part. So what I'm saying is, kind of getting back into the details of the pricing, I don't think that we have numbers based on what this says.
Danielle, don't we have a grant setting in anyway?
We do have 2 grants. We have the Game and Fish Grant and then the Wildlife Trust Fund Grant. And I did not bring that paperwork with me tonight. I also, at the last presentation, when we talked about the pond, did give you guys a breakdown of the cost, and I didn't put the walking bathrooms in here because I think that's up to you guys. I can share that information again with you. I just put the pond component prices up above, but I can reshare that, Aaron.
Okay, well, so this is my other thing is this a final layout? Because this is probably the 5th design that I've seen.
So the final layout.
This is gold.
That's gold.
Okay. So, I guess it's not up here. So this is your retention pond over here and your apartments down here.
Correct.
Thomas, you could share it again.
So I guess my question is, this is not really clear what the pond up here is. Is that because we would have to decide that and?
No, and Carl can probably speak to this better than I can, but there's actually like some overflow area. So the area to the west and to the north is actually not the pond. The pond is the larger kind of south portion of that. And if the pond starts to fill up, we've got the ability to expand and take more water.
That's the western part, right?
Correct,
Yeah.
yeah.
So is this the pond?
So it's just an
Yes,
overflow part,
yes,
it'd be a
where
little, it'd
this
probably be a
is
little
the
higher
west
than the pond.
I just wanna make sure I understand what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
And then,
I
so
thought
what
they-
is a borough area?
Borrow area, so that's where the developer would be taking dirt and getting that to, so they're not only excavating the pond, but they're getting the grading and everything around it too. So the borrow areas are where they're taking that dirt from.
We're gonna install the pond liner, not the developer, correct?
Correct, and one of the grants, I believe, was specifically to cover the liner.
I think.
So, hold on, can I finish?
Yeah, go ahead.
So, Rod, going back to, you had mentioned that you guys are gonna take care of all the green space, which, I mean, I see this is your, the rough idea of the property, right? I get that. So, oh, sorry, there's a thing here. So that's right, basically, this is where the street comes in and your property's all down here. So are you saying you guys are gonna maintain all of this greenery up north? Or only down here where it's already your property?
Everything south of what would be the ditch where Spruce Street would be.
Okay.
That's our,
So, not to be rude, but arguably no relevance toward what we're doing.
that is correct,
Okay.
other than digging and
Well,
pumping the pond and.
Maintenance, we can put in 1 million parks, but obviously it's taking care of them, right? I'm just trying to make sure, because you just offered you'll maintain the green space, but that's not for the north part, so
That's correct.
that falls back on us, which
That's
makes it
our-
our problem to deal with,
Correct,
is my argument.
yes,
That's all.
still your part.
Going back to like the beautifying of that and walkways around our part of the stuff or whatever, is there grants out there for walkways and stuff specific, isn't there? Yeah, that we could look into.
Yes, there are grants out there. There's they just renamed it a couple of years ago, but there's some funding through YDOT for pedestrian walkways specifically, different things that we could look at. And I'm, for some reason, just drawing a blank that name right now.
I'm just trying to,
There's a nonprofit out of Jackson, I think, too, that is called Wyoming Pathways.
Oh, okay.
That was,
Yeah, I think there's a couple options.
I'm just thinking there's other options out there for funding rather than eating 100% of the bill too, you know. I get it, I understand the maintenance of it too, but.
Too bad we didn't have grants writer, huh?
Maintenance of the restrooms is one thing, it's just installing them and a few things like that. I would love to see the bottom line, and maybe several options. You know, like, we'll start with the Chevette, not a Buick, and go through the Buick to the Cadillac.
Yes, Mayor, if I could, I have, gone on a lot of little trips to look at communities. And I submit to this council that we don't have to have a Cadillac, that we have quarried stone that we have access to. We don't have to, we can make a beautiful little park with a lot of stone, and stonework here and there, and benches made out of stone from our own quarries. We can do fescue, those big type of, grasses that you don't have to cut. A dock is a dock, and, water's water, and the fish is gonna be probably the highest thing I think we'll have to worry about. It's also, I had a question about alkali water posed to me at one point in time, but I think that's up to Game and Fish to tell us if fish live in alkali water.
Well, with a pond liner, that will also isolate the groundwater from the pond water.
But I think we can do something that is very, dynamic and really pretty cool, and, we don't have to spend lots and lots of money on it. And I think what the budget that we were given previously by Donnell, we've already got 2 grants, we could look at the trail money. So I think there's know, I'm more worried about MOUs and relationships, bottom line, and I think this is a great project, I think we should really consider doing it.
Oh, really, the only thing I see that connects the project to the city is dirt. The dirt we're giving him.
Well, we don't have.
With the potential of connecting the ponds.
Yeah, that's.
Well, but very minimal, crossover. I mean, I want a strict delineation on this is city, this is them. Sounds like we have pretty much that.
Pretty good line.
Maybe an MOU about circulating the ponds and such like that. And then we as the council are gonna have to decide what we do with our half, but the way I see it, we're trading, they're asking us to give them some dirt, and that's about it. Am I wrong, Rod?
No, that's really the request. We'll dig the pond and get it ready, and we're just asking for the fill dirt. We'd be happy to, whether we have to bond for it or sign an agreement with the city or whatever we have to do that, that'd be great.
That's kind of the discussion that I thought we were gonna have, where we, were discussing what the city's portion is, what your portion is, and you gave us a good explanation of the green that you're gonna take care of. I don't have any problem with that. I wanna get into the discussion of what we as a city, not you as a developer, cause I'm happy with the job you guys are gonna do. I love the pictures, it's gonna look nice. I wanna know what we're gonna have to do to get our side fixed the way this map shows. And again, you said that's our decision, and I appreciate that, because I can tell you that I have never seen any numbers of, Washington Park, what we could do with it. I've never seen any numbers of what Bolton Park, which has to be tore up a lot to get back to a normal park. I want numbers of what it's gonna cost to get that done, so I can have something to compare. So when I tell my residents, well, your park looks like this because we bought this, that's what I want to do. And so that's where I'm at. I've been on the council a long time, and I get a lot of calls. And I can take you on a walking trip through it and show you the rotted timber that's laying around over there, that we haven't done anything for 25 years, we just let it sit there. Entrance into our community, we talk about beautifying our community, that's one of the entrances into our community. They go down off the interstate, down Washington, right in front of that park. We go to Washington, we talked a little bit about adding restrooms at Washington Park, I support that 100%. I think we need to get some work done there. So those are the things that I wonder. I agree with what you're saying. If what you're gonna do has nothing to do with what the city's doing, I don't see it as your project as a big problem. You're gonna trade some dirt, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine, I don't have a problem with that.
Councilman Dirk?
So Daniel, real quick, so I know that there's the two grants. So this was for the 193 to install the liner. Is the grant, because I know that we had also had 175 earmarked away for a little while. Is the grant cover the whole liner?
I'd have to look back, I don't wanna tell you wrong, I had that packet still, and I just didn't bring it, cause I was running late. Let me look though, and I will.
And then I know, I think probably what we should do is write down exactly what the Fish and Game will do as far as, because part of this deal was that they would restock the fish yearly, right?
Yes, they are definitely interested in our past conversations, which I haven't been a part of, but my understanding is every year they would like to work with us, and they're very supportive of this project moving forward and creating that opportunity.
So everybody jump in if I'm wrong. What I think as a general consensus is everybody is pretty positive about the whole notion of this.
Okay.
So what I think I would like, and I'll let everybody else, is to get all of that just put down in a nice, the liner's this much, the grant is for this, they will restock the fish this much, for this many fish at this price, if we want more, it's this.
Okay.
It would be nice to just have it all rally back together. One of the hard things is, first of all, trying to remember this when it's every 4 or 5 months that we have these conversations. But, I mean, every time we sat down, the plans have changed and the thing is different, and just trying to come back and remember what the core facts, right? Because I mean, in the end, that's one of the biggest things is a lot of the beginning of this is covered under grants.
Right.
If we can work out a way to get something started, but not deter from fixing up the rest of the stuff, I mean, I think that there's a way, but.
I can prepare something, and then what I could do is send it to you guys in an email so that you can process it a little bit.
I think that would help me, right? And then let's put in like the bathrooms and all of those.
I'll just list that, I'll just say, you know, here's the base, what you have to have for the pond liner, things like that, and then option 1 bathroom, option 2 driveway, whatever we wanna do there, and then you guys can add the options you want.
Okay, so that would help me. Does anyone have any problems with?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Danielle, didn't Carl already do that for us in the last go around?
Carl has provided a lot of numbers and cost estimates, so I will be using a lot of his information instead of reinventing the wheel. But what I'm gonna do is just kind of present it a little bit differently maybe, because it's the way it's kind of compressed, and I'll break out the grants and stuff, so.
Rod, I just want to say that I think that, your project is needed in the community. I think it's gonna be a nice, facelift, I guess I'm gonna call it facelift or another word, but I think it's gonna be a nice addition, so I commend you folks for coming to the table to do that.
Thanks to Sinclair and thanks to Rockworth. Yeah, so I agree with you. I think it's gonna be a great thing.
Well, we learned more about it tonight than I've ever known, and I
agree.
I personally have no problem with any of it, except I wanna look at what we spend on the park and then the maintenance too. I don't wanna be like the grandfather that buys their grandkid a pony for Christmas and then it's up to you, you know?
You're feeding it in the winter.
We've actually done that once already. We don't want a second round, so.
Yeah. No, I really cheer you on, the apartments are needed, I'm sure they'll be nice. That area, I own the business right across there, and I stared at that for a long time, and it's gonna be one of the most visible parts. You know, the one on Southside gets a lot of use. You know, you go down there, you don't know anybody, because they're from out of town, they're looking for a place to stop and let the kids run until they're tired and eat a sandwich, and then they get in their car and leave again, but that one there just having the apartments will be a great improvement. Looks terrible. Anybody else have any questions of these folks?
Honorable Mayor and Council, could I just jump in with one more comment that I haven't heard addressed?
Yeah.
There's going to be 140 apartments going in, and each apartment will also have a water tap. And so the revenue to the city from the water taps alone will be almost $200,000. And also you'll have 140 new water taps on board paying monthly, which also adds up to another $200,000 per year. So that's also something to think about when you look at development at the town. There's always the discussion that development doesn't pay its way, but putting people on the water system and selling, water and sewer services and, trash, contributes to the city coffers as well in the overall sense. And especially, it's not new people coming to town, it's whole new residences. Right now we only have, I think, 3,000 total taps. And it would be neat to have another 140 taps, on the system. So I just wanted to, I hadn't heard that addressed. I wanted to put that out there for you guys. So thank you.
That's a good point.
Plus the property tax, right?
Yeah. We'll have a bunch more questions, but I thank you for coming and telling us what's going on. We'll have more questions as time goes by. Maybe not for you, maybe for poor Danielle, but,
My job.
but this gives us room to go think about all the other things that we haven't asked, but I don't have heartburn about this. This seems like a really good move, and I appreciate it. It's an investment in Rollins that is gonna make us look better. And we just have to be careful that we're not buying a pony, and just use our head.
I Lynn did print the information from last time. I'll still provide, like I said, but, the game and fish grant was $40,000. And then the Wyoming Wildlife was $180, and I believe that's the one that was tied to covering the liner.
Online, okay.
Yes. But again, I will provide you more detailed information, but wanted to share that now.
And then the 175 was just for the sundries and the incidentals, right? I mean,
Yeah, that
like
was
the difference
our,
in the
like,
line.
match and outside of what the grants would cover, yes.
that's what I remembered, so thank you.
And I think we took that out of the budget.
Well, I think it was, do we want to?
Good point, but still, we're taking out the budget.
Sean, did we take that money out of the budget? The 175?
That will still be in the budget. We'll make sure it's in there.
All right. Well, with nothing more, anybody going once, twice?
So,
This workshop is adjourned.
Thank you, Rob.
Thanks, Tom and Carl.
thanks, everybody.
Appreciate your time.
Thanks, council.
Thank you, Rob.
Danielle, the absolute treasure. Thank you, Danielle, Sean, and everybody. Appreciate it.
We're gonna take
But
that
you,
phone.
one of the
Because I sent you.
Some line, is it on or off?
I'll have that for tomorrow. Are you having? Probably tomorrow. Well, and part of one phone call a year from someone down there saying that there's like a deadline 90 days. Specifically, then those Trevor, these guys are between the ages of 35 and 40.
You got 6 minutes.
No, they just did it, that, some of it, the aisle.
7:27.
Yeah, we're
Right, and that's not.
Even a broken clock strikes twice.
It's not right.
Hey, we just look it up there and we know. Yeah.
And you know your alcohol. Yeah, okay. So I'm throwing my bike and lock it in.
Now you're gonna be looking at that.
Okay, well, the one guy. I just wanted to figure it out. I'm gonna come over here to that. Yeah, so the one was, so, and the other two,
Get it?
I have a problem.
It's working. You're locked in, right?
Something's gotta be wrong.
You are locked in?
What?
Did you get it?
No, mine was.
Oh.
Did it log in as me already? Hold on. I need to fix that for you, Mayor. That's personal.
This one doesn't seem to be doing anything.
One's broke.
The other day were, one guy was there with his friend, and his friend actually pulled it out to give CPR. That looks like it normally does, right? Yeah, thank you. So really, I don't know. Just I look like it's something. I think we're like, that was like in February, so that was. Unless you. Cause mine was crazy, and then I just left it alone for like half a day, and this time it logged in fine. And that's what, at the point of the day, he could say, well. Yeah.
I'm not gonna argue.
I was just, and with, water.
No witnesses, hey, no witnesses.
You know what, and our hands are here, I'm not.
Yeah, I think
And they can log in.
No, go.
You didn't prove it.
Are you ready? Are we ready? All right, I would like to call this meeting to order, and the first thing on the agenda is, join me with the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Next thing on the agenda is roll call.
Mayor Karen Wycombe,
Present.
Vice Mayor Jacqueline Wells. Here. Councilmember Aaron Dirk,
There.
Councilmember Darrell Gardner.
Here.
Councilmember Jabari Martinez,
Yeah.
Councilmember Linda Smith,
Present.
Councilmember Chris Weisenberg.
Here.
All right, thank you. Next thing on the agenda is citizens' participation. This is a time when anybody that's, part of the, community can speak to us about any, thing they would like to, any, comments or concerns. They'll be limited to 5 minutes. It is restricted to things that are not on, the agenda tonight, which there isn't much on there, so that's not very restrictive. But is there anybody that would like to say anything at this time as far as citizens' participation goes? All right, thank you. Hearing none, we will move to the next thing on the agenda, which is approval of the minutes of May 4th. Councilman Durst.
Mr. Mayor, I move to approve the city council regular meeting minutes of May 4th, 2021 as presented.
Councilman Smith.
Second.
There's been a motion made and seconded to approve the city council regular meeting minutes of May 4th, 2021 as presented. Is there any further discussion? Please open online voting.
Online voting is now closed, the motion carries with 7 yeas.
I just changed my vote, or I was trying to change my vote, and
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I wasn't here, so I'd like to abstain.
Okay. All right, so it's corrected, 6 yeas and 1 abstain as Jacqueline Wells.
Thank you. The next thing on the agenda is approval of the agenda. Councilman Martinez.
Mayor, I make a motion to approve the agenda for May 18th, 2021 as presented.
Councilman Smith seconds it. So there's been a motion made and, seconded to approve the May 18th, 2021 city council agenda. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, please open online voting.
Okay, it's open, sorry.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I clicked that fast, that looked like the minutes again.
Oh.
Yes, ma'am. Are you logged in? I can see, that's what you see.
Okay, it should be correct now. I'm sorry.
Do you want us to just do a voice vote?
No, it should be going, is it going now?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, online voting has closed and the motion carries with 7 yeas.
Thank you. Next thing on the agenda is, city council reports, Board of Adjustments, Councilman Durst.
I have nothing new to report, and as far as I know, is Danielle still here? There is no upcoming meetings that are scheduled that I'm aware of.
Okay, thank you.
There is not. I am
Okay.
still, sorry.
You can hide, but we'll find you. All right, the next thing is, Carbon County COG, and I'm the representative on that. There is a meeting tomorrow night at, Saratoga, so I'll have a report at the next meeting. Next thing is DDA Main Street, Councilman Smith.
Yes, DDA, Main Street Program, had its regular monthly meeting yesterday, and, they just have a couple of items, I'll be brief. The main thing is the splash pad is under construction right now. And so they're adding, pad components, which is the nozzles and the jelly sticks, that fun thing, but a lot of flow through. And, they're being installed, and the concrete is planned for Thursday. And they're inviting the community to the dedication and flipping the switch on as part of Summerfest, which is gonna be Friday, July 9th at 6 p.m. And then we're inviting people to stay for food and entertainment. Then Summerfest, Saturday, is going to be jam-packed with whole new events, not whole new events, but new events. So we're having, just really exciting, plans. They're adding Ninja Warrior obstacle courses, pose in the grass volleyball tournaments, and Garden County Dramathon. And, they have the main stage of eating contests, vendors, performances by local studios, and the Palooza, quilt shows, and cosplay shows. So the past weekend, we invite everybody to come down for that. And then, downtown is participating in cleanup on June 5th, so they're starting at 9 a.m. So any volunteers that want to come help out, that too is welcome. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next thing is Rollins, Planning Commission, Councilman Weisenberg.
The meeting is scheduled for tomorrow night at 5:30 PM, I believe, here in the council chambers.
Okay, thank you. Urban Systems Committee, Councilman Garner.
Nothing new to report.
Okay. All right. Next thing on the agenda is the T-Mobile hometown, tech over grant report. And, I will turn the floor over to Danielle Gross.
Honorable Mayor and City Council, we do want to place our submission for you guys. It's just a couple minutes long. But before we do that, we do want to thank Damian Sesko for nominating the City of Rollins, for this grant and for doing the video. Additionally, we'd like to just thank all of the departments in the collaboration and DDA. We all pulled together in a couple days and got this submitted, and, I think we used our resources as much as possible and really kind of show our uniqueness in Rollins. And then we'd like to thank National Main Street and Ayers and Associates for making us aware of the grant. Otherwise, we wouldn't have known about it. And then kind of exciting news, next week, Governor Gordon, I think, is going to actually be playing this at the Wyoming Main Street Board, which is kind of exciting for Rollins. But we will turn this on and let you guys kind of view our submission, and cross your fingers.
Oh, yeah. Why is there no sound? Do you know why there's no sound? Is there normally sound out of it?
TVs.
Oh, oh, you think we should plug this part in?
Try it.
Oh. There it is. Okay.
Hello, my name is Damian Sesko, and I'm here to nominate the City of Rollins for the Team Tech Grant. I've lived in Rollins most of my life. I've lived with my beautiful wife here for almost 22 years. I've raised a 23-year-old son who's been in the Marine Corps, a 12-year-old daughter who's going on 20. Most of my life has been spent here, and it amazes me how much we continue to grow and the amazing things that we continue to accomplish. The leadership of our town has been striving very hard to get us out of a rut, so to speak, and start building and starting new amazing things. The locals are starting to buy in. We're headed in a fantastic direction like we haven't been in a long time. So we need to have an opportunity to have a shot at this grant with T-Mobile and get that technology boost as well. We live in a desolate area in Wyoming. We have amazing things outside of here, but it seems very, very sheltered compared to most places in the world. But if you go in any direction, we have mountains and rivers and creeks, fishing, hunting. We've got amazing sand dunes. We've got all these camping opportunities, and we have open spaces as far as the eye can see, so.
And I'll pause that really fast. Welcome to Rollins, Wyoming, a small town with a history most people wouldn't believe and a character that people love. A high desert community located next to all things outdoorsy. Our ever-growing energy sectors keeps us driving into the future and makes our little haven a place that you would always remember. We have that down-home feel like the towns of old as we strive for the new. Rollins proud.
Cool, very good.
I especially like the little T-Mobile phone at the end.
Thank you, Danielle and Myra and Pam for doing that, that's awesome.
Thanks to Damian Sesko too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Definitely, for sure.
Is there anything more on that?
No, I just think that's a great thing to show how wonderful Rollins is, so.
I do
No,
too.
definitely.
Thank you. Yep, next thing on the agenda is the code enforcement officer report.
Honorable Mayor and City Council, I'm just here, tonight to give you a brief little summary of our latest priority, which is the liquor compliance checklist. And, just to kind of basically tell you how we've been doing it or how we are doing it. Partnered with Lynn to, start the initial checklist and everything. She took the main list of all the, licenses, and she is currently sending me about 8 at a time to initially start the appointments and everything. I took those and I made, appointments with each. If I could get the owner, I got the owner. Otherwise, next person in charge, like at the hotels, general manager or lounge manager. And then, as we go in, we give them the nice primo style guidelines that Lynn set up. And then, we basically just kind of start with the discussion with them, go through the guidelines, I do my checklist, and then, we just answer any questions that they've had. And it really has actually been going really well. And, we've got, out of the initial 8 checklists, we've got, 4 of the businesses done. We did 1 Friday, 3 on Monday, and there have been relatively small to no problems. The main problem with most of them is that for some reason, they don't wanna show, not that they don't want to, but they haven't had their hours and days of operation posted. That's been the main thing. Otherwise, tips, their dispensing rooms, everything like that, have been spot on. So we haven't had any problems. And I think, it's been good to get a lot of their questions out of the way, because I think it's kind of eased their mind as to how this process is gonna work. And I think they're finding that most of them are already prepared for it. So I don't anticipate any major problems. There may be a few, but, along the way, but, otherwise, we can just deal with them as they come. So then, once we finish the checklist, I've got a checklist like that I made. Then we take the necessary pictures and everything for all the licenses, tips, anything like that. And then my guideline information and everything, my notes. And, I go back to the station, and then I created a spreadsheet on the Z drive to where I enter the checklist information in, any comments or notes. I, upload the pictures and everything, and then I send a copy to Lynn, so that, she's got that on file, and then I'm keeping a hard copy for myself. And, other than that, that's it. Any questions?
I don't have any, thank you. Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry, Sean has a question.
Just a comment, I just wanna thank them for doing this, everyone that's been involved with it. I think it's been a really positive experience for these individuals that hold liquor licenses.
Lynn's been really great in answering a lot of their questions. I mean, cause they did have, I mean, we've been averaging
About
like
40 minutes at each one of the liquor places.
Yeah.
They have they have questions.
Yeah.
We just answer them. If we're not, we'll get the information and we send it to them. But we just reiterate that, you know, we give them both our phone number and our email address. If they wanna change something, like their hours of operation, or if they wanna change the dispensing room, they wanna make it a little smaller, whatever, we give them, you know, we just explain to them that we're all on the same playing field. We're just trying to visit everybody and just be open about it. So, it's been really great.
Thank you. I would just like to point out to the people maybe listening, general public, that in 2017, it changed. The state used to regulate all the liquor licenses and do all the checks and all the compliances and all that, and in 2017, that changed. They, some people refer to them as unfunded mandates, and what they did was they made that the responsibility of the city. The city really has not been proactive in that, and with some of the things that have been pointed out, that's why we decided to become proactive and go out and educate the liquor license holders to make it safer and better for everybody. And I want to commend you on the job you've done, and thank you, Lynn and Brian, for doing that. It's important to work with these businesses and sure up any questions they might have, and I do appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Sean?
Just another comment, I know, and you guys are on with that. So I know a few council meetings ago, there was confusion about one of the liquor licenses, when we had the attorney on the screen, and I know it was confusing for council, it was confusing for me, honestly, and I think for our residents too. I did ask Lynn to do some research on just kind of what happened there, and she has done some research, and if the council would like to hear some of the research that she's done, I'm sure she'd be happy to share it with you tonight.
Please. Please do.
I also have copies, I can hand you the copies of this, it's just real quick.
Thanks, Lynn.
So what I did is I just kind of went through, we had the, whole session put into a transcript, and then I just kind of went off the transcript that we had printed for the city, and just kind of made some notes. So like number one, it would say the attorney, and then it's just exactly what he said, I copied it and put it in here, and then in the red following, it just says either agree, disagree, or maybe the statement is not 100% accurate, and then it says see attachment. And those are the attachments that we had uploaded the night of the presentation on March 16th, and it just says, so that right below the red, it says attachment H, page 3 of the attachment, because sometimes the attachment had more than one document, so it was like on the third page, it would just state some of the things that we disagreed with what the attorney was saying. So if you kind of go down to like number 2, it stated that the attorney said something about Candy Mountain's position and how they felt that the facility, they had to get their facility operational and get their dispensing room in the position where they had to be operating by the beginning of the summer. And the page 2 represents on the transcript where I actually found that, his exact statement. And then some of the documentation that backs up what we disagreed with. So all those attachments, attachment B, D, E, H, J, and then the other one didn't have an attachment number, it was just a single item, and it was called, they had no tip training as of, their tip training didn't come into effect until March 10th. So this is just some of the things that I had gone through with the transcript and kind of highlighted. I know I just gave it to you, I don't know if you have any questions, or we can revisit it at a time when, yes.
Have they been provided this yet?
No, not yet.
Do we need to provide them with this too?
Depending on if you want to take further action, we would ask them to come back before you.
Okay.
I can tell you that studying this and knowing what we were told, and then knowing what the truth was, I don't know how to proceed with this, Amy, but maybe you can help me with this. I want to address this with these folks, because, we were trying to decide whether to give them a liquor license or not. And they came and they made a lot of statements that made us feel comfortable with giving them that license. And there was a lot of those statements, if not all of them, that were incorrect. So what, if we want to readdress this, what are some of our options?
So, because it's a liquor license, there is a property right to it. What I would recommend is if you want to discuss this with them, you could request their attendance at another, city council meeting where you could, request additional information from them with their attorney present, to inquire into those inconsistencies or delve into that information. Tonight, it's not an action item, so you can't take any action other than to direct your staff to request them to come to another meeting. Or alternatively, the council as the local licensing authority could review those, alleged violations, and if there is a separate penalty, we could move forward with that separate administrative penalty. So you have a few options before you. You could have them come back before you to address those inconsistencies, that have been pointed out at another hearing or another meeting, or you can, have us look into the enforcement of those violations as a separate staffing matter.
I think the violations would come later. I don't know how the rest of the council feels, but I would like to have them and their attorney come and explain this to us. I don't know how y'all feel about that.
I can start there.
Mr. Mayor, my question is, since it's not an action item, we can't actually really make a motion at this time.
No, you're just giving one of your employees direction on how you wish to proceed. And so you're not taking official action, you're
That's right.
simply asking for the matter to be brought back before you and, to invite them to that meeting.
Okay, and so the mayor asked for them to come to our next meeting, is that correct?
Well, yeah, I don't know about our next one, but hey, I would like it to be at the next one.
Whatever date you want.
Well,
Well, as soon as possible.
I think at the next meeting, if we can, I would like to have them and their attorney.
I will be happy to reach out to their attorney tomorrow and, try and make those arrangements, and I'll confirm.
Okay, Councilman Weisenberg.
Can we also look into like I get the starting point there, but some of the alleged violations too, and what penalties could be or possibility of all that too?
Yeah, you could probably do that also. Look into what
The enforcement action.
enforcement actions might be.
The TIP, training is specific, it provides for an administrative fee of $750. And so that one would be set by ordinance, that's, in addition to if you wanna take it into consideration with everything else. But the TIP violation is $750, administrative fee per violation.
Per person.
That's number 2, right? Where you're talking.
Would that be per day of the violation?
Unfortunately, the ordinance doesn't designate that. It does in our nuisances. Each day is considered a separate violation. The TIPS ordinance does not. It just simply identifies it for violation and it attaches or assigns a $750 administrative fee.
Councilman Smith?
This is going to be in front of the planning commission tomorrow, which makes me feel that's putting an undue burden on the planning commission, although it's for a zoning issue. But should the planning commission take this into consideration? Is that their job, or?
No. So the issue before the planning commission, the sole issue would be a temporary special use permit. And so everything involved in that temporary special use, neighboring owners who object or do not object, any issues with the current, where it's located, any concerns, from abutting property owners or abutting businesses, making sure that we provided notice. Those are the types of things that the planning commission should take into consideration, and whether or not approval is in the best interest of the city as well as the applicant. This would just be limited to their liquor license and coming back before you to answer those, inconsistencies. So, after the planning commission gives a recommendation, ultimately, that would be presented to you, and the issue as it's presented to you would be strictly that temporary special use permit.
So it's two separate issues, yeah.
Everybody okay with those instructions?
Yes.
Okay. Is that what you wanted to know? I mean, is that clear enough?
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
Can I ask one more question?
Yes.
Lynn, when you went through the transcript, was this just the things that you disagreed with, or were there things in there that were not misstated?
I mean, there were some things that were not misleading or
So
misstated.
you only picked out the things that you felt were,
Yeah,
you know,
and I probably, to be honest, I might have missed some. I mean, you could interpret what he's saying, listening word for word. I might have missed some.
okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
That was a March 9th meeting?
16, March 16th,
Okay.
2021.
Just so I can go back on board.
Okay, anything else? All right, now the next thing on our agenda then is the city manager's report. So Sean?
Thank you. Just a few comments for you. We have an upcoming, Clean Up Rollins, activity, which is gonna be on June 5th, at 9 o'clock in the morning at Depot Park. And this is just an opportunity, if any council members or anyone in the community would like to come and clean up different areas of town, we would love to have you come. And then, so at 9 o'clock, people will show up, pick a certain area of the city that they wanna go clean. When they finish up and, 2 hours later, or however long it takes them, they can come back and get some hot dogs, I think it was.
Hot dogs and hamburgers by the fire department, so.
All right, so that'll be a great activity. So again, that's, June 5th at 9 o'clock in the morning at Depot Park. And then, I wanted to just, follow up on another item. We have the WAM convention, which is coming up on July 14th to the 16th. I know the mayor would like to come. Is there anyone else from the council that would like to come before I start trying to sign everyone up? And if not, that's okay too.
Should I tell me the date again?
It's, July 16th, or excuse me, the 14th to the 16th.
Barry, you wanna go, don't you?
Well, yes.
I'll go.
Yeah. And I think if I'm correct, we need to pick, somebody to sit on the resolution committee. I'd be more than happy to sit on it. And then we're gonna need a voting delegate, which sometimes they have to stay an extra day. I don't wanna be that one, but, if you can be that's to decide on the resolutions that we come out with out of the resolution committee. We'll go to the meeting, the last meeting of the WAM conference, to vote on those resolutions, send them to the board of directors for WAM. I don't know if the mayor would like to sit in on that.
I wouldn't mind being the voting member. I do plan on staying all 3 days. And I would also like to have Dabari on the resolutions committee. It's a very important committee, and this takes somebody with a little bit of experience, and Dabari has a couple of years. 4 decades.
Okay, so there's three people, anyone else that would like to, or maybe needs to check in? Maybe if you could just let me know for sure at the end of this week, if not, then I'll kind of have a final count, so. Okay, thank you very much. Also, we have, the American Rescue Plan. I handed out a document, I think you all have it there. This is the COVID relief funding that, I heard we will be getting this pretty soon, and it's gonna come in 2 disbursements. I believe we're gonna get somewhere around 1.3 million. It was what I was thinking. We'll find out here pretty soon. And so I believe we'll get 50% of it in the very near future, and then I'm not sure when they're gonna do the second disbursement. Also, I think that it sounds like there's gonna be plenty of time to be able to spend it. I even heard a couple of years worth of time to be able to spend the money. So as I get more information, I can share that with you. They have a ton of different ways that we can spend the money that you'll see in this little packet here. If I were to recommend any one of these, which there's lots of options. Number 6, which is on the second to last page in your little packet there, it talks about investing in water and sewer infrastructure. Says recipients may use this funding to invest in an array of drinking water infrastructure projects such as building or upgrading facilities and transmission, distribution, and storage systems, including replacement of lead service lines. So I think this would be a perfect opportunity to be able to help with the replacement of our Wood Stays pipeline that we're getting ready to do. So that would be my recommendation, that we use
Perfect timing.
Would that include some of that retention pond too, possibly? With the storage of it, or?
Not really source water.
I guess I could look into that, but I think, for me, I think the Wood Stays pipeline would be an awesome way to use that funding. But anyway, if you, what's that?
It does suggest subsurface drainage water, but I'd rather have it used for infrastructure, lead pipe, or ventilator pipes or whatever.
Councilman Martinez, you had a question?
We talked a lot about, the overpass, in our last workshop. That's gonna be a very expensive item. That's something that we need to look at. I don't know how projects, I don't know. But I know that that's gonna be a project that could be a costly project. We need to look at that.
Yeah, so maybe for tonight, just have this be food for thought and read through it, because again, there's tons of ideas, but we don't need to decide even in the next couple months. So, if you wanna read this, we can revisit this at another time. And then the last update I have for you is, we still don't have our financial audit, and I would really like to just move ahead and try and get a different auditor to get us, but even if they have to come for a week and redo this audit, I would really like to have that done. 'Cause I just have an unknown amount of time to be able to get that audit done.
When is that audit supposed to be here done? I mean, when was it supposed to be done?
In my, what's that?
It was October, November last year.
That's normally when we should be getting audit back, yeah.
Do you have any idea why we haven't got our audit yet? It's scary to me, that the reasons that it might not be here, which leads me to a really dark place.
I think,
but there's gotta be a reason we don't have that, and it can't be a good reason.
yeah, what I've been told is the auditor, there were some reasons related to COVID, I think staffing issues is what I've heard. And I know that there's other municipalities that are in the exact same boat as us right now. And I would rather just not wait and for an unknown amount of time. I think we need the information as soon as we can get it, so.
What are we, 5 or 6 months overdue?
Yeah, you know.
If you can get somebody to do it sooner, do it.
That's how I feel. If everyone else kind of feels that way too, I'll kind of start going in that direction to see if we can get someone else.
Anybody disagree with that?
Could we try to get a contract, so there's a timeline they have to have it finishing?
Have we done that with an audit? I guess we probably could, right?
I mean, we must have a contract, like Daryl says, Commissioner Garner says, we must have a contract with the present one. And we don't.
Don't we have like three years ago when somebody, decided to go with that one? They should have a scope of work or something that was dedicated for the council to choose to go that way.
Ideally, yes.
Okay, well, then maybe this is a contract issue with the legal matter, we should discuss it, otherwise in executive session. If we have to do anything with it,
It is very unsafe.
yeah, it is.
But the way to get to the bottom of it is get another auditor. Let's get the audit done, and then we'll have to do the cleanup work later.
So, that's all I have for you.
That's enough. Thank you, Sean.
Yep.
All right, the next thing on our agenda is, department reports, and so whoever wants to come first, come on down, chief.
Oh, down. COVID relief funds or the Daniel Gross Fund, is that how that works now? Oh, I'm just kidding. I think it was a good call. Good evening, Honorable Mayor, Madam Vice Mayor, and members of the council. The state of your fire department is strong. I just always wanted to say that.
I've always wanted to hear it.
Oh, there you go. It was a very, very productive month, once again, for, the Rollins firefighters. The breakdown of our, events are as follows: 67 responses, so a little bit slower than last month.
Good.
Which is never good, or never a bad thing for us. Never a good thing, no, never a bad thing for us. Our training hours are up to 172 hours. We're still trying to hit that 200 threshold, and I'd be very, very pleased with that. Our building inspections, we had 27, although it was down from March, 100% of the buildings that we had scheduled were inspected. So this month is a very heavy inspection month, so you'll see a much bigger report, the next time we're there. One of the neat things that we did is we started out a quarterly awards program in the fire station. Normally it was just an annual award, and the people would vote for it, and those of you who attended the banquet could see that. And we decided to break it down because I think we need to look at other people too, you know. There's a lot of people doing a lot of great things, and I was very, very pleased when everybody said they wanted to do it. So our firefighter of the quarter was Caleb Wright. Our fire officer of the quarter was Louis Lascano, and our EMS professional of the quarter was Stephanie Trimble. Yes, they're all volunteers, and they've done wonderful work, and they deserve it. So you also, a lot of you were at the Joe Torrillo speaking engagement. We had our firefighters annual awards banquet, and our upcoming event on Saturday, 0900, is the 5K fun run that we're looking very much forward to. Looks like we have pretty good interest. I think we're in the vicinity of like $2,300 in donations, and that'll all go back to different people or different groups in the community. We are still looking for volunteers. The Sinclair turnaround kind of stopped a lot of our volunteer firefighters from being able to participate. So if you want to come out and help us, it won't be too hard. I promise not to work you too hard, I promise. If you want to be out there at 8 o'clock on Saturday morning at Station 2, we'd love to see you. And that's for the staff also. Or anybody sitting in the room. Really feel you want to come out and join us, that'd be great, so.
Or anybody listening.
Yeah, anybody. Is anybody out there? So, that is the fire department's report for you.
Well done.
Thank you very much. Any questions? Thank you all very much.
Good job, I appreciate what you do.
Honorable Mayor and Council, the Rollins Police Department, we had 911 calls for calls received, or 911 calls received, excuse me. Telephone calls was 1,100, and dispatch calls for service for the police department was 500 calls for service. We had 31 case follow-ups, and then any others, which is 252. That includes our property checks, bar checks, business checks, things like that. 45 ambulance calls that were dispatched out of our center, and 22 fire-related calls. And then 63 animal control or animal shelter calls as well. We had, actually the police and fire participated in an escort for a terminal firefighter traveling from Cheyenne last month. So we helped participate in that along with the fire department. And then we had the DUI panel as well. We had an officer stop out at Washington Park to talk about some bike safety with just some kids riding around. And we treated our victims advocates, our volunteers, for their support and assistance last month. So as far as code enforcement goes, we had 18 cases opened, 14 of them were resolved, and then there's 4 other follow-ups on that. The information that they gave you last meeting in regards to the property details, the laundry list of items that would be needed to be taken care of on those properties. He opened up started 6 of those, and from my understanding, 4 of them have already begun compliance on that, and work towards that, so that's a great thing. So just showing that initial program is really helping out, so. And then, on a side note, I appreciate everybody's support last week at the flag ceremony. Just shows that, for our department, that the community really supports law enforcement and within all of our communities, so thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for what you do.
Thank you for the job you've been doing.
Yeah, thank you, appreciate it.
Thank you for everything.
Yep.
I needed support today.
Yeah, there.
You have a lot of bodyguards.
Yes. So before I give my monthly report, I did just want to, recognize the recycling employees in landfill. They received for the 4th year a recycling award from Interwest Paper. Last year, they recycled 245 tons of recycled materials, which is the equivalent of 32 T-Rexes. Kind of fun fact. But these employees really work hard. This last week, we've shipped out 2 trucks in 1 week. They're incredibly busy, but they do it with smiles on their face and they help the people. So I just wanted to recognize them all for their hard work. And just in case you guys are not familiar with them, this is Danielle Yeager, Pat Martinez, Matt Turner, and Tony Kulis, and they are an amazing group, so just good job. Thank you, guys. And then a couple not as fun updates, we've just...
Danielle, can we do it really fast?
Oh, yeah.
Holding, but can we do it this? Thank you.
I'm gonna stand up.
Oh, while they do that too, I'll just kind of give you guys a couple updates so we can move forward. Utilities has been working on some hydrant replaces. We also did get some new LED lighting installed in the pedestrian tubes. I did go take some pictures while it was pretty dark one night, and they light up. They're not creepy anymore. I was super excited. We are getting ready to finalize the fire panel upgrade, so you'll see the new alarms in City Hall. We'll be doing testing Thursday for that. We are making some progress on the wastewater treatment plant. I did send you guys an update, and we'll be hopefully sending you guys a newer update next week as well. But if you have questions, definitely let me know. We are spending a lot of time at the landfill prepping for cleanup week, which is coming up here pretty soon. And then we are going to no longer be open on Sundays, with the exception of cleanup week Sunday. We will still run Monday through Sunday. Sundays in the summer were 1 to 4, and we just don't get very many people, or it's green waste here and there. So we are going to be closed Sundays throughout the summer from now on as well. And then we've got a lot of street stuff going on. We've kicked off the projects that started over from last year. The contractor is currently working on Lambda, this week, and then next week they'll be moving to Dunvale. And then our streets crews has already started patching. They did a pretty good sized repair on Rodeo today by the school. And as long as the weather is nice, we are going to patch as much as we can and do what we can there, so. That's all I have, though.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor, City Council. A few things, the golf course, things are really starting to green up out there and starting to look a lot better. We're gonna be able to apply some fertilizer. Pretty much, completed most of the irrigation repairs that we, had discovered when we opened up the water this year. And then one, maybe discussion to talk about the urban orchard project. We planted all those trees down at, the cemetery a few weeks ago. So Abby Perry from the University of Wyoming Extension has 12 extra trees within her budget. And so we were looking at, the possibility of putting those trees in the ground. And one thing I wanted to kind of ask council your thoughts. We were thinking Bolton Park, kind of on the, I guess it would be the south side, kind of up the hill, would be a great place to put maybe 9 of those trees. And then the other thought was to take 3 of those trees and plant them at Martinez Park. Kind of wanted to get your idea, and I thought that was a good idea. We went out and marked the areas, found some good spots that are going to be easy to water. We are expanding part of our irrigation at Martinez Park, so that'll play right into this, so we can add the drip line to go to where those trees will go as well. So I wanted to kind of bring that up and
Just, make sure you have a cast iron fence around them down there, because we have a lot of deer on the south side.
Yep.
And it would be a welcome sight on the south side, don't get me wrong. I really appreciate it. I think it would be great putting them where you're talking, just.
Protected too?
yes, that is the plan. Within the grant, there is money for the T-post and the fencing, and good strong fencing as well, just like we did at the cemetery. So we feel pretty confident on that.
Councilman Weisenberg?
Yeah, I remember we had discussed about fencing on that, and I'm not trying to deter away from beautification and doing these projects, but we had talked about the fencing of that, and I understood it was, discussed and was gonna be changed, and then it was still put in with the hog panel style fencing, the rolled fencing, which is against the ordinance, right? And I'm not trying to be horrible about this, but then there's a property It was fenced off with that same style of fencing, which is against code, okay? So I just wanna set that forward, that if we're doing something, I agree, and I understand that maybe it's something we need to look at and changing in the ordinance part, because I understand it's for a tree or shrubs or something like that. But if we allow our own property, our own self to do this, we allow everybody else without any kind of enforcement. And it was noted that, because I had brought that up, it was noted that that was talked about and changed, I believe, with the style of fencing. So with that, I mean, we fence them trees in. It don't say you can fence or you cannot fence, right? It just says you cannot use that style of fencing unless it is in a agricultural area, right? And that was a R 7.5 zone, okay? I mean, I agree, I love the fence, the trees there, I just don't like the fact that we went against our own ordinance in doing that. Now we ask for other people to follow ordinances. So maybe it's something we need to come up with and change
I
the
see
ordinance.
that a little bit differently, Chris. There's a difference between a barrier keeping deer out of trees and truly a fence.
But it's no different than the ordinance is what I'm saying. So we need to look at maybe amending that ordinance, right? Looking at that ordinance and amending it. I'm not saying we should not allow that to happen, because it is a way to prevent deer or other animals from destroying them, right?
Good way to handle that is to bring it to the ordinance, just amend it, and if you get a second, we'll go for it.
Okay.
Councilman.
So,
Not to cut you off, Chris, but I guess I didn't mean to. Jason, I got your name right this time, didn't I? How temporary is that fence going to be? It's just till it grows a little bit, or a year, or?
I believe Abby said it would be for a few years.
So it's gonna be more than 1 year?
Right, but our idea is kind of as part of the beautification of the strategic plan is the sod there at Bolton Park is in really good, strong shape. So we're gonna cut out 4 foot by 4 foot sections with a sod cutter, and then we're gonna move that sod and fill in other areas that the turf is not doing as well. And then we're gonna actually mulch and keep the mulch replaced and fresh. So it'll be consistent with that square. So I think it'll make it easier for maintenance and mowing, but it'll also make it look a little more attractive as well, since it'll be there for a few years.
Appreciate it.
All right, thank you. Update on Island Park. I'm really excited that Steve Sanger came and talked to us the last meeting, I believe, to adopt that park down there, and I believe he's already been out there, doing some work. Our parks crew also went down there to try to, use some of our equipment and get things started well, so there's less for him to do, so I'm really excited to see where that takes us in the future, to maybe get more residents, more organizations interested in, adopting parks. Our Adopt a Street program is very successful, and I love seeing people out there, cleaning up our streets and, honking at them and waving, and they're all excited, so, I'm really excited looking forward, or moving forward and trying to develop an actual Adopt a Park program. All of our parks are different, they have different amenities, they have different aspects to them, so we kind of need to take them individually and see what type of things can volunteers do at each of our parks. So we're working on that, moving forward. Cemetery cleanup began May 1st and continues just about daily. And, shooting range, so we had the Silver Bullet, shooting tournament last weekend. It was a good turnout. We had 10 shooters. We're trying to avoid calling them shooters. We had 10 participants in the tournament. And, Patty kind of spearheaded this and made some changes where the scoring was. It used to be up at the shooting range on that ramp, and it just was kind of awkward. So we utilized the multi-purpose room this time. So we had a target runner, and you would run the targets to the scoring tables in that room, and then the participants could go and see their cards and everything. It worked really well. And I'd like to say we got a lot of really positive feedback for our scoring staff, and actually Lynn's husband back there came out and volunteered his time, and then Josh Martinez our assistant park superintendent, who's also out there. So they did a great job. Thank you very much. It's always good to get that feedback. And then we're doing some work on the 300-yard range. And I wanted to point out that FNS Trucking helped tremendously by donating a bunch of tires. And then, so we're gonna use some sort of equipment to put those tires in place to help with that range. And the last thing is, our youth soccer registration. We had 225 participants this year, so it's proof that we're bouncing back from COVID a little bit. People are getting out there doing more. It's also proof that we have a lot of young, kids in these ages under 10 that are interested in being active and participating in local recreation programs. So it's telling us that our idea to expand what we offer in this community is the timing could not be better. So we are very excited. Moving forward, part of the strategic plan is revamping our recreation programs and offering more for the community. And this sort of tells me that we're ready for this and Rollins is ready for it. And it also tells me that because we do have online registration, that we have direct access to 225 youngsters to let them know of every different program we do coming up. So I was excited to see those numbers. So, any questions?
Councilman Weisenberg?
Yeah, I sent an email to Sean and he's forwarded on, and I mean, from a negative note to a positive note, I wanna say thank you, right? I'm out and about during the day in my job, and I had noticed an individual, he was by himself, right, doing hard manual labor work, cleaning around the cemetery. And he was there for hours on end, cleaning that up, and it looked good when I drove back by several times, and I wanna commend him for that hard work and yourself for your department getting out like that. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. Sean, shared that with me. I really did appreciate that feedback. It's good to hear. We did identify that employee and let him know and thank him as well. And it goes further than just recognizing that one employee. Our whole Parks Department was there to hear that information and recognize them. And so it kind of boosted everybody in the crew. It also allowed us to have a conversation that our Parks crew are very visible. I'm not. I'm in an office. I'm in meetings. They're the ones that the community sees and council sees. So it was a great segue into our conversation about wearing the proper PPE and safety gear, and when to take the breaks and all that kind of stuff. It was very, very positive conversation with them. So thank you for that feedback.
Yeah, thank you.
Anything else?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else? Going once? All right, next thing on our agenda, thank you, for all those reports, we do appreciate all your hard work. The next thing on the agenda is the city council reports and direction to the city manager. Does any city councilman have anything, Councilman Martinez?
Yeah, I have gotten a number of calls. I've been getting these calls on our cat bus, when we expect to get it going again. That's a very important tool in our community for our seniors that have to go to get their medication or go to the city market and get their groceries or whatever. And so, they were wondering when that was gonna happen. I didn't have an answer for them, but I said I'd bring it up and see if we can't push that a little bit. I know we've had trouble in the past getting a driver, have a CDL, I guess. I don't know.
The current employee that drives our CATS bus is on leave, and so we're just waiting for her to come back.
Okay, and that's, to me, I don't find that acceptable. I think we need to find somebody, I'm sure we have an employee somewhere that has a CDL that could drive that bus, till she gets back. But I can't tell you how important it is for these people. And I'd like to see it go.
Yeah, one of the difficulties there is another employee that has kind of filled in from time to time, but they have a full-time position as well at the city, so it's kind of tricky, but we'll try and figure out something where we could at least offer it, like once or twice a week or something. We'll work on it.
Councilman Weisenberg?
Yeah, I was just curious, I had talked to you, Sean, about the Viper contract. contractor when they were in town, and the complaints I had over in my ward about the concrete work that was not done properly, and it was sunk in, and, I mean, not just that, but it's all through that street now, right? I went by, talked to multiple property owners there that, one, the retaining wall wasn't done properly back into place when it was removed and taken out. The concrete they laid there is sunken in again. Another property down the street, the concrete sunk, and now we have a water shut off sticking up that high. So I was just curious of what the plan is for them, the property owners, for that.
I did share that information with Danielle, and maybe she has an update, maybe not.
The contractor has been put on notice of all of the things that'll need to be corrected, and as part of their contract, they will have to go back and fix those things.
What kind of timeline are we looking at? I mean, it's getting to be nice weather, and
They will be here next week to get going on that project and start working on things.
good. I was just curious because, I mean, that's an issue that was, it's a compaction issue, right? With the soil up there, they didn't compact it and they just poured it in there, so, and I see that myself, right? So I just wanna make sure we're on top of that and staying on top of that for the property owners. Thank you.
Councilman Smith?
I'll be brief, but I had, something I wanted to share and see if it's a possibility. But on the retaining wall that we have an issue with it, where it's an abandoned or vacant house, and, it's going into foreclosure. It's been my experience sometimes that if you reach out to the owner, it's probably a bank, they will probably help mitigate that out because they'll want to sell that property, and without retaining wall not being in the best shape, and that being a problem, they may even help mitigate it out beforehand. So there's no sense in the city spending any money if we don't have to, so I'm just making a suggestion to reach out to whoever owns that and see if they won't mitigate it for us.
That property is currently under foreclosure, or is foreclosed, or?
It hasn't been done yet. We do a record owner guarantee at the beginning of every dangerous building. So anyone that would have an interest, a mortgage holder, they do receive notification, both regular mail and through certified mail, as well as it being published. But we could certainly contact them directly via phone and see if we can get additional.
They know it's gonna go into foreclosure, and I've mitigated out things through procurement processes before, so I thought I'd just mention that.
That's great. Thank
I was just curious, because I've seen the owner there, so.
Okay, is anybody else? All right, thank you. Next thing on the agenda is, unfinished business, which is, an ordinance. I would entertain a motion. Vice Mayor Wells? I thought.
I move to approve the third and final reading and waive the reading of the ordinance amending Rawlins Municipal Code, Chapter 2.56, Urban Systems Advisory Committee.
Second.
There's been a motion made and seconded to approve the third and final reading and waive the reading of the ordinance amending Rawlins Municipal Code, Chapter 2.56, Urban Systems Advisory Committee. Any discussion? Danielle?
Honorable Mayor and City Council, I am mostly here for questions if you have them. There's no changes from the last couple, so.
Okay, just for the people listening, in case this is their first meeting they've caught, can you give us a 3-sentence overview?
Yeah, so this ordinance, change is just to get some updated regulations, bylaw rules for our Urban Systems Committee. The Urban Systems Board did review all of this and make the recommendation to approve it.
Any further discussion? Please open online voting.
I vote yes, because I'm locked out. Made half the meeting, though.
I refreshed and then it.
Remember the password.
listen to the same thing.
Online voting has now closed and the motion passes with 7 yeas.
Okay, thank you. Next thing on the agenda. The agenda is, another ordinance, I would entertain a motion. Vice Mayor Well?
I move to approve on third and final reading and waive the reading of ordinance amending Rollins Municipal Code 1033, stopping, standing, and parking.
Second?
A motion made and seconded to move, to approve on third and final reading and waive the reading of the ordinance amending Rollins Municipal Code 10.33, stopping, standing, and parking. Is there any discussion? Danielle?
Honorable Mayor and City Council, this amendment is just to eliminate the, restriction of vehicles not being over 20 feet in length for diagonal parking. It's a hard ordinance to enforce, so we're just trying to make it a little bit easier. Just again, as a reminder, we still do have an ordinance in place that will, make sure that we can enforce where people cannot restrict the flow of traffic. So they can't be parked in the middle of the lane and people not be able to continue down the road. If you have any questions, let myself know, or enforcement things, I know, Interim Chief Craig has been great on that part, so.
Okay, any further discussion? Please open online voting.
Yay.
Okay, online voting has now closed. The motion passes with 7 yeas.
All right, thank you. The next thing on the agenda is, another, final reading amending the Rollins Municipal Code. Councilman Martinez?
Mayor, I make a motion that we pass on third and final reading, amending Rollins Municipal Code Section 1.01.010, requiring every ordinance and resolution be reviewed by the Rollins City Attorney for legal compliance and sufficiency as condition, proceeding before being presented to the governing body.
Is there a second?
Second.
There's been a motion made and seconded to approve on third and final reading amending Rollins Municipal Code Section 1.01.010, requiring every ordinance and resolution to be reviewed by the Rollins City Attorney for legal compliance and sufficiency as condition precedent before being presented to the governing body. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, please open online voting.
Yay.
Online voting has now closed. The motion passes with 7 yeas.
Thank you. Okay, the next thing on our agenda is new business. The first reading of the annual budget is going to be at the, next meeting. And so the next thing on the agenda is approval of the payroll. I would entertain a motion. Vice Mayor Wells?
I move to approve the April 25th, 2021 through May 8th, 2021 payroll register for $227,448.39.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
There's been a motion made and seconded to approve the April 25th, 2021 through May 8th, 2021 payroll register for $227,448.39. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, please open online voting.
Yay.
Oh, he sounds like you're happy. Oh, yeah.
Online voting has now closed. The motion carries with 7 yeas.
All right, thank you. The next thing on our agenda is to approve accounts payable. Councilman Smith?
I move to approve the accounts payable register for the period of April 27th, 2021 to to April 30th, 2021, in the amount of $74,276.47.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Okay. There's been a motion made and seconded to approve the accounts payable register for the period of April 27th, 2021 to April 30th, 2021, in the amount of $74,276.47. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, please open online voting.
Yay. Is that better? Is that more exciting?
Yeah. I vote yay.
Online voting has now closed, the motion carries with 7 yeas.
All right, thank you. The next thing on the agenda is, for the resolution of the, a grant. Councilman Smith?
I move to approve the resolution authorizing the submission of the Bureau of Justice Assistance Bulletproof Vest Partnership Grant for the 2021-2022 budget cycle in the amount of $1,587.60 to assist in the cost of new and replacement vests for the sworn Rollins Police Department officers.
There's been a motion made and seconded to, approve the resolution authorizing the submission of a Bureau of Justice Assistance Bulletproof Vest Partnership Grant for 2021-2022 budget cycle in the amount of $1,587.60 to assist in the cost of new and replacement vests for the sworn Rollins, Police Department officers. Is there any discussion? And
Honorable Mayor and Council, just background, the Bureau of Justice has always created a bulletproof vest partnership, which was created by Congress to cover the partial cost of ballistic vests, or the soft body armor that our officers wear on a daily basis. And so that covers up to 50% of the replacement for those. So we have one new hire, and then we have 3 officers that are going to be due for a renewal, and those body armors last 5 years. So that'll cover up to 50%, and this is not our first time. This is our multiple time that we've applied for this grant. So.
Councilman Martinez?
This is a 50/50 matching grant, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Just wanted to.
Yes, correct, yes, yep. Yes, our body armor is about $900, and they'll match about 50%.
Thank you. I was about to ask that then.
Okay, any further discussion?
Go get it.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Please open online voting.
Online voting is now open.
Yay.
Online voting has now closed, the motion passes with 7 yeas.
Thank you very much. The next thing on our agenda is to approve, the YDOT Cooperative Agreement. Do I hear a motion? Vice Mayor Wells?
I move to approve the YDOT Cooperative Agreement for the Urban Systems Committee and authorize the city manager to execute the agreement on behalf of the governing body.
Do I hear a second? Second. There's been a motion made and seconded to approve the YDOT Cooperative Agreement for the Urban Systems Committee and authorize the city manager to execute the agreement on behalf of the governing body. Is there any further discussion? Danielle?
Honorable Mayor and City Council, as you all know, we have an Urban Systems Committee, and this is a partnership or a joint committee with Carbon County and then with YDOT. And we do receive some funding and different things that we're able to do through that committee. So we have a current agreement with YDOT. They are looking to just update it. It's been several years since that's been done. The county commissioners have reviewed and approved this agreement as well, so it is before you guys for approval. The Urban Systems Committee did make a recommendation at their March 31st meeting to approve this, and then legal has reviewed it as well. But if you have questions in regards to this, let me know.
Councilman Durst?
I'm sorry, did you say it was for something specific? Like,
It is to continue the urban system forward. So it is, that board
so
is.
it's, okay, okay.
Yeah, it just.
So it's not for a project?
No,
or something?
not a project.
You said it was reviewed by legal also, is Amy, everything checked out good on that too, right?
My initial review, I had some concerns regarding the indemnification provisions and availability. Danielle forwarded that to them and they made those changes. And so essentially what's before you is an agreement where each of the entities are responsible for their own negligent acts, and we do not indemnify or defend any other entity. It's just solely our responsibility for our actions, their responsibility for their actions.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Thank you. Please open online voting.
Thank you all.
Thanks, Danielle.
Yes.
Online voting has now closed. The motion passes with 7 yeas.
Thank you. The next thing on our agenda is an executive session. I would entertain a motion. Vice Mayor Wells?
I move to go into executive session at 8:48 PM per Wyoming statute 164405 to consider or receive any information classified as confidential by law.
Second.
There's been a motion made and seconded to go into executive session at, the time was, 8:48. I keep forgetting. Per Wyoming statute 164405, to consider or receive any information classified as confidential by law. Any discussion? Please open online voting.
It's open.
Yay.
Online voting has now closed. The motion passes with 7 yeas.
Thank you. So, we go, where do you want us to go, Amy? Downstairs?
Right.
There's like equipment in upstairs.